Done. Recording started now.
Okay, good morning, everyone. So this
Good
is
morning, Annie.
awareness chapter meeting. Let's start with the first thing first, that guideline weekly inspection. Previously, I already mentioned each of PIC from each one to give the little update, but I already saw update here as well. So let's start first with the guest spot. Okay. On the guest spot, what we need to hear is what guideline you have following that success in last week, and what guideline you have following but it's not working. I will speak behalf on Takwe since he's sick. So I saw the Airbnb part. The guideline that it's not working or is failure is on the deep content doctor. So our tools, deep content doctor, is not insulting anything. We have run for listing, but doesn't have the good result yet. So at this part, we will bring up these tools to inspect by BI team to inspect further, and perhaps from BI can give some suggestion. So, Mrs. Secretary Jesselyn, can you write down on the conclusion to KW to bring up the deep content doctor tools to BI team, so BI can inspect what is lacking, what is things that need to improve or something else. I think just that for the episode from KW. And then from Jesselyn, I saw some of the tools or guideline has been working well. The first is uh, boost Facebook marketing listing. Over to Jesselyn. Do you want to give more update about this one, Jesselyn?
Right. So this is just a quick comparison. Although the fourth and the last experiment hasn't ended yet, we can kind of predict the result already. So previously, I reported that high budget, low duration works better, probably best, right? So I tried to kind of flip the experiment by using the same budget, but put it like low budget but for a longer duration. So both of these experiment will amount to 150,000 rupiah in total, but the distribution within each day is a little different. One was 50,000 per day, the other was 50,000 each day. So the fourth listing has been launched for about 4 days now, and we can see that from 4 days boosting, it has only reached 1,452 accounts, whereas in the previous experiment, in 3 days, it was able to reach 6,788 accounts. So, this is still a prediction, but it's probably true. But by the end of the fourth experiment, it'll definitely show that higher budget with short duration will work a lot better rather than short, low budget with a longer duration. But this is just a quick update regarding the experiment.
Okay, this is great. Thank you very much, Jesselyn, for the apa namanya, details oriented, details reporting. So I think this one is not only applicable on this side, on the guest spot as well, but I saw the big opportunity can be used for other spot as well. For this one is basically we boost listing from Nadine account on the marketplace, right? To reach more audience and get a bigger result. So in perhaps next week I have talked to Jasmine and Kak as well to boost Instagram post, right, to reach more audience and got bigger reach. But as we can see, a good result here perhaps can be applied on the other platform as well, for example LinkedIn, Instagram. Yes, over to Mr. Ding.
Okay, here. I would go first to another direction before going into another platform. Everybody, okay? But let me just check real quick. What would be the most logical next step after seeing this pattern to you? Okay, so seeing the pattern that 15,000, same budget, right? 150,000 budget. Same budget spread across 10 days only gets us about let's say one fifth, maybe one fifth or one quarter of the results that we have the same budget spread over 3 days. Okay. So, what should be the next experiment in this sequence to test if we've been. Well, what could we possibly understand better that we don't understand yet? And what would that next experiment look like? Let's go over to Huiying. What do you think?
Um, maybe on the same duration but different budget, or
Right, right, right. How much would you budget next time then?
maybe higher.
Yes. Okay, yes. Okay. What we're trying to do in this particular case, everybody, is we're not trying to spend less money. That's not the point, right? The point is to get more value per money spent. Okay, more value per money spent. So in one case, we get like we spent 150,000, but we only get what 1,400 reach. We spend the same amount, but we get 4 times as much. So that means the experiment number 3 is 4 times better value. Okay. So then the next step I would think is, okay, what if you raised it higher or you made it even shorter? What if you raised it to 100,000 per day and made it for 2 days? Would you get 10,000 reach, right? Would you get the next level of reach? So that can be actually a interesting question. We don't know, right? Maybe we haven't found what the best value point is. Maybe we're just still on the way to discover that. But the only way to really know is to spend a bit more on maybe a shorter amount of time, even, right? After a certain amount of time, I think it starts going backwards again. If you spend, let's say, 1 million on 1 hour, you probably don't get very much, right? So that's an extreme example of how short you could go. Oh, minimum duration is 3 days. Okay, all right, thank you, Jesslyn. So, all right, if we find out that okay, shorter time, higher budget works, I would try an even higher budget. Let's say we doubled the budget. Okay, let's say we tried, I don't know, 300,000. Okay, do we get more than double the reach? If we do, then that's good value again, right? Let's say we get 5 times more reach with double the budget, then you're still saving money. Per amount that you spend, you're getting more for the same amount of money. So I think that's are more for just the proportionally. You double, but you get 5 times more, so you still profit, right? That's what I mean. That seems like an idea. Gani, the parallel idea of starting on Instagram is unproven, right? So that would be a new experiment. It could be an inspiration, but once again, um, Instagram might not work the same way as Facebook, right? We don't really know. Maybe people are faster, and maybe the time frame has to be readjusted again. But you could actually try the same experiment on Facebook. But the most logical next experiment seems like it should be raise the budget again, see if you get more value. As long as you keep on getting more value per click, as long as your per reach budget is getting lower and lower, then you're doing something right, right? And that's a good thing. So, um, just whose experiment was this? Was this Jesslyn?
Yes, just a little.
Okay, Jesslyn. Right. What's your? You don't have a KPI of what is it called? CPM, right? Gunny, you were a CPM, right? Is it the cost per mil?
Yes, cost per 1,000.
Right, right. Okay. So, Jesslyn, let's just do a quick CPM calculation on both experiments, okay? So, Gunny, would you be able to write, or who has control of the screen right now?
Me?
Okay. Would you be able to do this? Okay. So let's do a quick calculation. We spent 150,000 rupiah. Okay, and we got 6,000 views. Right, 6,788. Let's divide that by 6,788. Okay. So in general, we spent 22 rupiah for each reach, right? Each person that we reach, we spent 22 rupiah. Now, let's go to the other one, right? The other one was how many? 1,400, right?
Which one? Sorry.
The previous experiment that was done for 10 days.
It's still running, sir, basically.
Oh, it's still running. Oh,
Yeah.
it's still running. Okay, how many days? Okay, it runs. Oh, so it's only halfway through. Oh,
Yeah. Still running. Still running.
okay, then forget what I said, everyone. All right, I didn't realize that. That was my bad. If it's still running, then it's inconclusive. Let me see. What's it likely to be? How many days? Okay, all right, then forget what I just said. Uh, yeah, it doesn't matter anymore. I thought the experiment was finished. Okay, so
Okay.
we'll have to see what the end is before we see it. But
Okay.
just to let you know, the cost per reach is a very efficient way of understanding what kind of budgeting you can use. If you see that the longer uh,
Mm.
campaign has a cheaper, let's say it's 10 rupiahs to reach one person, then that's better, right? Because it's obviously getting you more. Uh, yeah, it's getting you reach for less. Okay. Never mind then. So I guess we have to wait until after the 16th to make a conclusion. In the meantime, yes, Gani, proceed with the Instagram idea.
Yes, thank you very much for the directions. But yes, Josephine, you can take a note that we can use cost per reach to determine which campaign that most effective way. Okay, is it which one the budget, which one the time that we need to come up after experiment number 4 is finished. Thank you very much, Jocelyn. That is a good initiative to start the experiment on Facebook Marketplace. All right. Continue on the Instagram. Okay, this one is pretty interesting. On the Instagram content metrics, offer to Jocelyn again. Would you mind to share about this?
Okay, thank you, Mas Gani. So the first picture is actually the weekly content planning that is written in our guideline, and it has been, yeah, some sort of tradition before uh, the week starts for Instagram campaign. But last week, or probably last 2 weeks, I've been working on Instagram maintenance, and I've come up with an issue because now we are able to see what properties are being posted, right? But then it would take a very long time for us to find the actual post, because let's say I wanted to take a look at the post that was posted on January 2021. That's like a year ago, and I have to scroll down the 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 Instagram feed page up to the very bottom of it to find the post. And then another problem comes up, which is we don't actually know which property that was, because we only know the name, but we don't know what unit. So uh, that's the second problem that I found with the weekly content planning. And then there's a third problem, which is there are some missing documentation for a few months. I think it was February to May last year that was missing, and because of that, I had a very hard time trying to maintain the listings, because I don't know what property it was and I don't know which one that was. So I've come up with this content metrics. It is actually very similar to the one that we have for Facebook campaign, because then it would be easier for us to find a specific listing. We know exactly what listing that was and when it was posted, and we also know the price that we have put for that specific property post. So this way, hopefully, future interns or anyone who's working on the Instagram campaign would have an easier time trying to maintain the listings and find the post that they are actually looking for, rather than just scrolling through the content planning up to the very bottom of the page. So yeah, it's just a quick update regarding that.
Okay. Thank you very much, Jocelyn. So I think this is pretty straightforward. So this more on the administration of our listing. So on the apa namanya, our tools have a bigger right to administrative of all our Airbnb listing, but now we use a spreadsheet to documentation our Instagram post, and previously it's also used on Facebook as well. So yeah, I think it's very good, Jocelyn. So you are able to copying the idea of from the Facebook marketing campaign and use it on Instagram content metrics. This is easier to make us to update the price and daily content daftar. Ya. To easier us to check apa namanya di description. Okay, thank you very much, Jocelyn. Is there any question from anyone? No? Okay. We'll make it. Then, okay. Oh yeah. So have you update on the guideline, Jesselyn, from the beginning until how we apa namanya mencatat on this spreadsheet? Do we have the
Not yet,
guideline?
Mas.
Not yet.
Not yet.
But the content metric is already finished.
The content metrics is finished, but I haven't finished the maintenance for the Instagram post.
I see. Okay. So the next action you can add yourself to adding on the guideline. So in the first action to posting the listing, it's supposed to be also documented in this spreadsheet. Okay, Jocelyn? Thank you very much. Okay, I think it's that for the guest panel. So Airbnb done, Instagram and Facebook. Okay. Moving on to the partnership squad. Over to Hui.
Okay, thank you, Mas Gani. So, previously I followed a guideline last week is about how to reply a message in GMB, and turns out that the link of the property catalog is not the correct link, and I've revised the guideline as well. So, for the future campaign GMB campaign manager, will have the correct link to reply to guest inquiries on GMB. And also, previously when handling Facebook ads campaign, we faced some problem running the ads due to the access problem, and that caused some postponed on the Facebook ads campaign. So I have revised the guideline on how to set up the Facebook ads campaign to remind the future campaign manager to have better preparation before running the campaign in Facebook ads, which is to have the access first with Masgani as well. I think that's from me. Back to you, Masgani.
Okay, thank you very much, Hui. So basically, your activity is about the inspection, yeah. What is on current tools? The tools is already there, and then we have the guideline that already adopted. But the thing is, when Huying use the tools, it's face some problems. So what Huying does is inspection the tool. So it is perfectly on the apa namanya on the circle that we just talked about. Yeah. Thank you, Hui. That's very good. And also this one is can be inspirational for other mechanism cycle. This activity it's can be inspirational not just for partnership squad as well, but for employee squad or the squad. So if you guys found anything on our tools or all guidelines that not working on there's some problem, just bring up to the group or ask to your ask to me, and then we have discussion, and then we can revise it and then do the inspection. So in the future, there is no problem anymore. Good job, Wing. Thank you very much. And continue over to Feby. I think this is pretty interesting, yeah, Feby, yeah.
Okay, so a little update from Facebook. So finally, we got one lead that approached us directly on Facebook, and he is an owner of Sanur Hill Resort, and I already offered him to be the WhatsApp for further consultations.
Okay.
But I haven't got any updates from Kak Nadine for these leads. Maybe I will update it later. So I was thinking, like, are we supposed to have a notification that I think we already have notification on chapter awareness group that, for example, like leads that approach us on Facebook or website.
Oh, previously we had notification leads from website, yeah. When leads coming from website, there is notification on Slack, but the notification is doesn't provided in Facebook.
Yeah, I think so.
I see. Okay. Okay. Understood. So congratulations, February. Finally, we got one list from Facebook page. Yes, over to Mr. Z.
Thank you, Gani, and thank you, Febby. Congratulations! It's something to celebrate. Yay! All right. Here, two things though. Two things. One, What do you think you did differently this time than previous times? Was there something different? Let's try to be sensitive, right? Was there something different about the channel or the message or the way you identify the audience or anything else that or maybe your timing that was different than previous attempts that led to this conversion from an approach into a lead?
I actually make a lot of different for Facebook optimization. First about timing, I post content for every morning like 8 p.m.
Hmm.
With so yeah, that's the timing. And the second for engagement, I share my contents in many groups. I
Ah,
think the I think no, not many, not many, but I think three groups. For example, like Bali House Canggu or property rentals. Yeah,
nice.
times 3 times or 2 times I share it my content, and also I make my content more like educational to make build engagement and trust. First, yeah,
Oh,
our
wow.
branding in partnership is like a consultant, right? So yeah, I make more educational content, so make our leads trust about us.
That's really good, Febby. That's really good. It's on brand. It's tone is good. It's actually pretty inspirational. Um, Gani, when I see this, sometimes I go like, "Ah, Kasian," because if it's on Facebook, it goes away over time, right? It seems like it seems like to me that if it was done also in a blog or maybe this, Gani, would Febby be able to have access to the WordPress and then she can just make a blog and put the same information just in blog format, right? That way it stays. And then I think in addition, Febby, to getting like the social media effect, you can probably also start getting search engine optimization because these are really good, right? These are quality content that are long form that like somebody who's searching might actually find valuable. What do you think about that, Febby?
Yeah, SEO, I'm pretty interesting about it, sir. And I also have learned it before how to make article from SEO, but I haven't very much knowledge about how to running the SEO itself.
Oh, okay. Well, Gani, there you go. There's a potential candidate to delegate your SEO responsibilities to, right? So
Yes.
why don't we do this, Gani? Would you like to have a sub discussion with Febby on taking some of the content that she's using for Facebook, and it covers two ideas, right? One is this is good content no matter for long form. So social media is short form because it disappears after a week. So if we can make this more permanent, either by blog or I don't know, YouTube video, whatever, right? Something that carries that over. I think that'd be good. And the second benefit is, yeah, how to then optimize that content for search engine optimization so we can improve our ranking. Okay. Uh, Febby, why don't you do that then? Just arrange a time to talk to Gani. And Gani, if you want to bring me in, I have new SEO knowledge from 2022 I can share with you guys too as well. Okay. So Febby, why
Right.
don't you do that? Sub discussion with me and Gani, and we'll talk about SEO for not tomorrow. Tomorrow I'm off, but any day after Tuesday should be okay. Okay.
All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Jing and Febri. So congratulations. You did well. You changed the message, changed the time, and also use very on brand content. Uh, that's very good. And the additional, so we can forward your message into blog. Yeah. Mrs. Secretary, you can write down to having Febby to arrange the some discussion. Okay, is it clear, Miss Secretary? Very clear, yeah. All right. That one is great. Okay. All right. Okay. We can continue to the employee spot. This one is also pretty interesting. I will offer to Bila.
Okay, thank you, Kak Gani. So these are the two things that I want to report. First one, what has been doing good is that we already made a content plan for MBKM awareness plan for our Instagram account as well as LinkedIn account. If you are curious on our plan, you can open this paper and then you can give feedback as well. We've uploaded one post so far, and we got followers and engagement boost on our Instagram as well as LinkedIn account. For Instagram, we got like 180 new followers, which is like a 67% increase compared to last week. And we got more engagement, which is 859 impression, which is like 193% increase from last week. And for LinkedIn, we also got an increase in engagement. We got like 75 engagement compared to like 4% engagement from the previous post that we have in LinkedIn. So that was a good thing that happened. But I noticed that we still don't have like SLA for this Instagram, like for the engagement as well as followers or whatsoever. I think I'm planning to making one so that it can be more structured in the future on what are the plan that we are going to do to achieve the SLA. And then second, on what is not achieved, what is not doing good is about the distribution post, that we actually have around 10 to 15 distribution posts per week actually for SLA, like for each role, but we got only like 5 distribution posts this week. I think it's mostly because first we are focused more on MBKM, and I think a lot of our team from awareness thinking that we don't necessarily need that much distribution post since we already got a lot of applicant coming from MBKM website, which is why the distribution post is keep on decreasing. And also I asked to Cindy as well. She said that there is some communication friction happening with the partner. And as from myself, I also still find it difficult for some roles to get a new partner that might give us a better qualified applicant. So that's all from my side. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Bila, for sharing us the successful and the failure one. Okay, for the successful one on the Instagram SLA, your plan, you can have a sub discussion with me and Jesslyn to have a better planning since we already pretty well on the Instagram at Bukit Vista on the guest spot, so we can copy our plan. So. But from the second one on the distribution post, I'd like to offer Mr. Jing to give some opinion about that.
Okay, here's my question to Bila. Two questions. First question is it okay? The distribution posts that we want to do, are they for roles where we don't get enough applicants from MBKM? Or are we getting enough applicants for MBKM for all roles?
No, yeah. So actually, like previous week, because I already been here from like Wednesday, right? Meaning that I didn't get much time to get distribution posts. I see that it's already been selected to certain role, but this is our future plan as well from me and Cindy and awareness team that we're going to focus the distribution posts on the roles that didn't get much applicant or not qualified applicant from MBKM.
Okay, understood.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much, Bila. Okay. All right. Bila, you have a child in the background. That's cute. Okay. Cindy, over to you for clarification.
Okay. So for the target for my distribution posts are the roles that are currently in high prioritization list.
Okay. Okay, got it.
So
got it.
I haven't really checked to Kak Vera which roles that do not have much applicants or no, but we're focusing on the high priority campaign.
Okay, excellent. Cindy, high priority also changes depending upon how much supply arrives. Okay, so let's say, for example, we have a high priority HAR, but we get thousands of HAR. That no longer then would be high priority anymore because most likely we will find our hires from that, right? So then high priority, I think, needs to go through a discussion with your squad lead, and your squad lead, Ara, needs to actually assess and reevaluate the prioritization based on the new thing happening with MBKM. Okay, so if let's say those 3 roles that are high priority right now are getting more than enough applicants, then that should not be the high priority roles anymore. Those should be lower priority roles. roles, right? So I think we need to have that kind of understanding first in the employee squad, and that can carry forward. Cindy, you might just slack Cindy and Bila, or I think Cindy, you've been working on them, right? Why don't you slack Ara and ask her if these roles are still high priority, and that then will determine whether or not you should continue focusing your distribution on that. Yes, over to Cindy.
Actually, this prioritization is just reprioritized this Saturday.
Oh, okay.
And yeah,
So-
and this is only I think the one we prioritize this is Kak Vera, and she's also the one from conversion team, which is also holding the main MBKM applicants. And yeah, okay.
Okay, understood. Thank you for the clarification, Cindy. I withdraw my previous statement. Let's go over to Bila.
Yeah, so this prioritization is actually for this month's role, right? For the January, which is
Okay.
actually not in line with what we are discussing before, whether these roles are the roles that have less applicant from MBKM, which is why on the last Scrum, I believe I asked employees funnel to like actually give more information to awareness team whether if there's role that didn't achieve enough applicants or qualified applicants. Yeah.
Okay, understood. All right. So if I want to see the picture correctly, it's like this, right? So it's like the rain is falling, but it's not covering some of the areas where we need rain right now, right? And on those areas, that's where we're doing distribution ourselves. Is that correct, Cindy? Yeah? Okay, understood. Okay, thank you. Bila, okay, my second question is this. Are we getting a very dramatic uptick right now from MBKM? And is that affecting our Instagram, our social media, and all our other channels? Are you seeing that effect?
Yeah, definitely. I think we got a higher page view Instagram and as well all of the others. It's all because of MBKM
Okay.
rather than things that we change on our messaging or something like that.
Great. Okay, great. So let's go back to communication theory, right? That means it's now you don't control the message, right? Because it wasn't the message. You didn't control the channel, right? Because it just kind of happened on its own. The audience came on their own. But what can you control next time? You can control the
Timing.
Yes. You know that this is a cycle now, right? So let me share a story with everyone here. I was recently in the Pacific Northwest of the United States, and this is an area where the native people, they used to actually get they have they live in the forest, and there's not too much that grows in the forest. But once a year, and every once a year, they get salmon. Salmon will come all the way from the ocean. So much salmon, right? More than they could possibly ever eat in one time. So a lot of the Native American culture there is related around how to preserve salmon, right? How to actually take salmon and preserve it. Think of Mbekam as like that then, okay? So you have a salmon run twice a year. A lot of people will be flowing in. So you need to build your nets, right? You need to get your everything ready for the salmon so that when they come, you can take it. And after you build your nets, you need to build your smokehouse. You need to put your salmon that you don't plan to eat today in your smokehouse. You can smoke your salmon and then you can eat it for the rest of the year, okay? So that becomes part of, let's say, the communication strategy here. Let me demonstrate something really quickly that I think we should think about in the awareness funnel. Okay, so I'm going to use this piece of paper here, and hopefully you guys can see it. Okay, can you guys see that? All right. So normally, when we think about a funnel, right, we think about like some sort of conversion going this way, right? You know, from the top, from awareness to engagement to conversion, right? That's kind of like the standard flow. But do you guys ever think about this? How to keep and re-engage with the previous flow? Okay. So let's say, for example, somebody did not convert on MBKM to become an intern this year. Can we smoke them, right? Can we preserve them? Can we say, hey, look, it's unfortunate, but this year you were not selected for our internship program. However, we post a lot of very good content that helps students get into our programs here for interns on the Journey at Bukit Vista page, where we give very detailed information about our culture, our projects, and all kinds of other things. If you would care to join this particular Instagram profile, you might learn more that can help you on the next particular thing. So this is a type of re-engagement strategy. Gani, I think once upon a time we had an intern named Zaki, and he mentioned this idea, right? How often do we actually re-engage people who do not convert? So let's say all the people who didn't turn into leads, right, or turn into inquiries. Do we ever go back and say, hey, look, I noticed you didn't book anything this year, but we have some new product now. Is this of any interest to you? So this type of re-engagement, I think, is something that is actually pretty interesting because a lot of times. Who was doing Jesslyn, right? Bringing in Facebook leads, all these cold people, right? Who never really know about us. But why don't we go back to everybody who didn't successfully book last year and ask them, hey, do you want to change your mind? We have some new deals. We have some new products. Would you like to book this year? Right. Same with MBKM, Bila. So remember, for a very long time, we had to do a lot of distribution, right? But what if you could move all the people who didn't pass and preserve them? You could put them into your Instagram follower community and supply them with information from month to month, from time to time. They follow, they grow, the next time you need a community, you can just go, boom, there's 7,000 people on my Instagram profile, and now I'm ready to hire, right? That could be another attempt. So, anyways, this is just a thought, right, of a strategy, Gunny. So, the general subject is re engagement. How can we re engage with somebody who already knows our brand but just didn't convert the first time and eventually get them to change their mind or eventually become our customer? Okay, pass it
Great.
back to Gunny.
Thank you very much, sir. Yes, I understand what you meant. So basically, there are three major strategy in the awareness. So we have applied this on Febby's Facebook ads on the December. So basically, we get some sort of awareness, reach a bigger audience, and then once they see our ads, they are track our pixel on the tracker, okay? And then we run second campaign to re-engage the first audience that have seen our ads, and then after they going to bottom funnel, and then we just punch them with the the sales or more persuasive content, just like we did on the Facebook ads.
Excellent, excellent. Okay, Gunny, that's great. That's why we have chapter discussions. Now, over to Bila. Bila, now that you've seen this and how it works for some of our Facebook engagement, some of our Facebook traffic, can you imagine how you could possibly apply this now, right, to MBKM traffic, right? What can we do with the re-engagement so that we can keep a pool of applicants that are very already aware of our brand? They've already applied once, right? But then we can, let's say, between MBKM or when we need roles that and it's not this huge season where the salmon's running, we can still go back and get those applicants again. Okay, so this has already been laid out in another campaign, but then think about how you can apply this to your current campaign, Bila. Okay, yep. Thank you, Gani, for sharing this. This is actually precisely why we have chapters. Yeah. Oh, okay, Bila, that's already the plan.
All right, that's very good, Bila. So we already have the pool, right? We already have the all of the audience from that have visited our website, or apa namanya udah daftar, already submit, but haven't keterima atau belum. Okay, so we already have the pool. So perhaps when this MBKM period is over, we can run ads to re-engage them, right? So we can yeah, re-engage our previous audience. Yep, that's very good. So what is the apa namanya? But what is your actionable planning, Bila, for this specific action? Specific.
I guess like for the like social media engagement, just I already make a plan, right? And I think the plan was also based on that strategy that was told by Kak Gani and Mr. Jing as well about like gathering the crowd and then making them engage with us and keep them engaged. So I think we're going to try to do that until we finish our content plan, and then for the next period, we're going to create another plan for a better engagement as well to keep the engagement of these people. And second of all, for the distribution post, I think, yeah, I think we need to be apa ya, to get more specific on the roles that are needed in this case. So like for example, I believe that the one that is more in priority this month is like PD and HAR. So I guess Cindy and I need to be focused more on that for the distribution post rather than uh, try to like blindly find all the distribution posts to all the other. Yeah, and other, yeah, I think that's what I'm going to.
Okay, okay, that's great, Bila. So you already have a plan. What things? What is the next step? Okay, that's great. Over to Cindy to add some information.
Okay, so the informations I'll share is pretty much almost the same with Bila, but because Bila just came back at midweek, and I've been doing the distribution post as usual, like with the template that I usually use, and with the to the universities we usually approach, and with the time that we usually do. But I get fewer response on this. Is this because of the messaging or what? And I need to ask for anybody's here about your suggestion.
Okay, okay. The distribution post template. So you got your response, but actually the same timing, same message. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Same message, same timing, same target.
Okay. Okay. Who do you think that already running it well previously? Who is the best person?
Sorry, Kak Gani.
Who is the best person that previously already well running the distribution post?
Previously, Bila.
Okay. So what we can invite Bila here. So Bila, what do you think about the Cindy case?
Yeah, I think I need more details on this. Like, what are also the partner? You ask for distribution post to the partner, but they don't reply to you. I think I
Yeah,
need
yeah.
more detail on like who's the partner and then on your timing whatsoever. But I also have like kinda apa ya guess on even if I haven't got the apa details on your messaging. But I think it's also one of it is because it's also on holiday, and then most of the partner here is usually like lecturer, right? They don't necessarily that active on holiday, maybe. And then there's also chance that for the MB, because you are as is it is the distribution post MBKM or is it just a usual internship ya?
Just the usual one.
Oh yeah, I think it's also possible that some, I don't know, university. I'm not sure what are the partner that you are approaching here, but from some university, I think they would less likely to share a non MBKM one, because like right now people are most likely to look for MBKM so that they can convert it to their credit, right? So that's also possible too. So maybe you can, if it's still university that you are that you are contacting, maybe you can change it to other than university that that is not part of the audience of the MBKM. That's what I thought.
Interesting. So I saw two things here. First, it's about timing. The timing is not always about the at the morning or evening or at night. It's not only that, but it's a seasonality, perhaps, right? As I discussed with Lilis previously, that's why I I come up new SLA for awareness on employee spot. So Lilis come up with two different SLA on the seasonal side, on the holiday side, and on the apa namanya non-holiday. So perhaps this two this one factor have a different impact, right? So ya kalau kamu targetin pagi, tapi pas holiday season ya belum bisa baik. So the timing factor is a pretty big difference. And the second is about like Bila said. I think Bila is well understood about that, about the audience itself. So majority university will join on MBKM, right? But perhaps some other potential partners that I don't know doesn't join the MBKM yet. So perhaps we can apa namanya retarget them. Those two things that what in my mind, now. But let's what do you think, Cindy?
Okay. I think that's very mind blowing to me because I didn't think about the seasonality. I only think that we need to do distribution pause from Monday to Thursday. But
Uh,
now with this discussion, I also know that most university will be on holiday.
mm,
And for the target itself, yes, I targeted most of the BEM, HIMA, and also like yeah, lecturer too, and our what beasiswa.
mm. It's also applied on guest spot, right? In some seasonal, we have a very low booking pace, very low inquiry, but at the end of year, for example, December, we got very high number of booking. So it's depend on the seasonality. That's very huge factor. For this one, I'd like to apa namanya suggest to Cindy to have some discussion with Bila to arrange. I think this one is new guideline, right? So the guideline that already work is from Bila side. It's on